In September, I asked clients and friends who follow me on my Facebook page, the link's below in the description box, to ask me anything. Any questions at all, I'll answer them for you here on YouTube. Today's video is the answer to one of those questions. And by the way, if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer for you, they don't have to pertain to the video you watched, anything at all. Leave it in the comments section. I will see it and I'll be happy to answer it for you. But today's question is from my good friend Ajay. Ajay asked a very good question about how to do grounding when you do tarot readings. Hello friends, my name is Wendy Rapp, spiritual life coach and intuitive reader. On this channel, I help you as a spiritually awakened person grow and evolve on your soul's journey. So Ajay Douglas asked, how do you ground yourself before and after tarot readings? And how do you release before and or after tarot readings? Ajay, that is such a good question. It is so important that we all know how to ground, especially if you're doing this kind of work that we do, any kind of spiritual work, whether you're a healer or you're doing psychic readings, grounding is first and foremost very important. And for those of you who don't do any kind of psychic or energy work, let me explain that the reason we should all do grounding is twofold. First, grounding helps me, and all of us actually, to release our stress and worries so that we can be clear, so that we can be a good channel for doing the work that we're doing. And then calling in the divine, calling in the white light to protect us, to keep negative energies away. And by negative, I don't mean anything necessarily even spiritually negative, like demons or negative ghosts or spirits or something like that. I just mean sometimes people bring in, their frustration, their stress, their worry, and it's very easy for somebody who is a healer or a psychic, and we're open and we're very empathic, to pick up that energy. So that's the negative energy I'm really talking about. It's easy for us to pick it up. When we're shielded and grounded, we're able to keep ourselves well protected. So let me explain my process so you'll better understand what I'm talking about. And by the way, just because I do it this way doesn't mean that this is the way to do it or that everybody should do it this way. It is simply my way of grounding and protecting myself. The first thing I do is a light meditation, because if I do a deep meditation, I will be off in the astral realm and I won't come back till who knows when. So because I have work to do at EarthSpirit, I keep it a light meditation. That's all you need, light meditation. And when I'm in that meditation, I picture myself as a tree. Think of the tree of life, because that's really how I kind of see myself. I'm the trunk, and then my energy, the first thing that I do is release anything that doesn't serve me. Stress, frustration, fear, anger, any kind of anxiety that I may be carrying around with me. I let that go into Mother Gaia, and I release it. I can feel it from about my heart chakra down, my heart center down, just releasing into Mother Earth. And I send my energy intentionally 5 miles down, 5 miles wide, just like a tree trunk, giant tree trunk. I've heard people do it 2 miles down, 2 miles wide, but hey, I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I go 5 miles. But I see that energy, anything that doesn't serve me, going into Mother Gaia, for her to heal and transmute that energy. Then, once I feel that I've really released it, I take in her energy. I take in her strong, creative, secure, abundant, loving, healing energy. And I can just feel it coming, even as I'm talking about it, I can feel it coming up into my heart area. It keeps you strong, it keeps you energized to do this work, and it helps to keep you clear. Then once I feel that I've fully grounded with Mother Gaia, I take that energy that seems to settle in the heart chakra, and I send it up through the higher chakras. And I send it out again, 5 miles wide, 5 miles high, to the divine. And I connect with the divine. I ask to be open to their connection, to their messages, to their guidance, to their wisdom. And I can feel their energy coming back in through me. I can feel myself also with the white light coming in, and it's very important to do white light meditation or white light protection if you do spiritual work. I run it through me and I run it around me. And again, that's something that keeps all negative energies out and only lets love go out to others. I also then, after I do this meditation and get myself in the right energy, and by the way, I see this energy, I don't see it stagnant. I see this energy in my head, both from Mother Gaia and from the divine, as kind of having a pattern of running through me and then running back up and through me. And I just see it kind of constantly moving. That's just the way I see it. I'm not saying you have to see it that way, but I'm just letting you know it's not stagnant. It's constantly running through me and around me, and then when it comes out the top and goes to the divine, I also see it showering around me. I just feel very protected when I do that visualization and that meditation. And then after I do that, because I'm not done, then I also make sure that I clear the space. Other readers use the space, and everybody does do a great job of clearing EarthSpirit and the rooms. Chris is always saging, and the readers who are there before me usually do a great job of that too, but I just like to do one extra little clearing, and I usually will use a clearing spray to do that, sage spray, and because it doesn't fill the room with smoke, because it's a small room that I'm in, and it gives a nice aroma to the room, but I also do feel it clears the reading table, the reading area. I also see the white light coming in and just like a plume of light hit the table and kind of disperse in all directions and fill the room with the white light to keep it protected, to keep us safe while we're doing the readings, and to keep everybody calm who's coming in. I also use crystals on my table. You've seen my tablage. I have amethyst, I have rose quartz, I have tourmaline, I have some citrine, some ametrine, celestite, I believe it's celestite, a piece of celestite. But I have a number of different crystals on my table. And the reason for those crystals is they help protect my energy, and they also help to calm the client, to keep them in a calm energy. And it must work, because most of the people who come and sit at my table, the first thing they say when they sit down is, oh, they feel so calm now that they're there. So, and the energy in the room feels so calm. So it is important to make sure you do whatever it is you do, whether you use crystals or sage or sprays, do something that has a ritual in it to you too, because that kind of reinforces every time you do it. It reinforces the protection for you in your mind and in your intention. During the night, while I am reading for people, I make sure that after each one leaves, if it was a light reading and it wasn't too heavy and it was kind of a lighthearted energy in the reading, and some of them are, I don't feel a need to necessarily clear the energy or the space right afterwards, but I always clear the energy as a rule. I have found if I don't clear the space energetically, and it's just a very quick sweep of the room energetically, bringing in more white light, just intensifying it. I spray 3 times across the table, and it just kind of releases the energy of the person who was there and any possible negativity they brought in with them, you know, stress and frustration, that sort of thing, sorry. And then it makes it a clearer space for the next person coming in. I also find it's really, really helpful for me to do cord cutting. Now, I am a Reiki master, and one of the things that they do in Reiki is called a karate chop. It's a Reiki chop, and it's across your midsection, because that's where people kind of can put their hooks in. So the way you do it is ch, 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 and you make that noise when you do it. I know it sounds funny, but it works. When I don't do those practices during the night, and at this point, there's no way I'm going to go through the night without doing those kinds of practices. But in the past, when I wasn't being as diligent about doing what I should be doing to clear the space and to clear myself, I would find that I would go home and the energy would be so hard for me to let go of. So it's easier right there in the space to let it go, to clear the space, makes it easier for you as a reader to do the work you're meant to be doing. At the end of the night, when I'm ready to close down, just shut myself down, I actually put the intention out. I say a light prayer to my angels and guides, that I'm ready now to shut down, and I power down and shut off. And psychics are really never shut off. We're just the volume's turned down, but they know what I mean. So they take that energy from me, and it's so funny because when I do that, I can see, if you've ever seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, um, when you see at the end of the movie where the Holy Spirit goes back up into the heavens after they open the ark and then it gets shut again, it's like that. It's like this bright plume of light that goes and goes right back up to the divine. And I know they've shut down. But I do stay grounded. I mean, I'm grounded all the time. I ground myself every day when I get out of bed. I also surround myself in the white light every day. That's just a practice. But shutting down psychically is something that's really important to do when you're finished your work. When I go home, the first thing I do is I light a white candle. This is after I take my coat off and everything. I go to my altar and I light a white candle. And I say a prayer of gratitude for the gift I've been given to use in service to others. And I always ask for blessings for every client who comes in to see me. I ask the divine to help them, give them the wisdom to help them move forward and through their issues and whatever their problems are. If someone is having a particularly difficult time, a client who's come in to see me, I will say a little bit extra prayer for that person. But it helps me when I say that prayer and I leave it in the divine's hands. It's like a final way of releasing and shutting the door. Shutting the door to that energy. It's just a helpful step for me to take to really let that go, because sometimes it is hard to disconnect from the stress and the worries of some of the people who are your clients, who are friends, who you really enjoy seeing coming in, and you really do worry about them and you really do think about them, and you need to be able, though, to detach emotionally from that. Ajay, if you're doing any kind of spiritual work, do whatever kind of ritual for clearing, for grounding, for protection that you feel called to do. There really is no right or wrong here. Everyone has their own way of doing it. I know I find that out by discussing it with other psychics at EarthSpirit. We all have something that we feel called to do as our little ritual that helps us in our work. As long as you make it your intent to ground and protect yourself, you'll be okay. I hope the information was helpful for you, Ajay, and everybody else watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. I upload a new video every Sunday, and I'd love to have you join me here, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions you want me to answer, please leave it in the comment section below, because I would love to hear from you, and I would love the opportunity to answer your questions as well. As always, remember, you are a spark of the divine. Share your light with the world. Blessings.